Last part of chapter 2, yay! Then we'll go on to chapter 3. Eric? Eric? Do you hear me? Please forgive me. Is he gone? That laughter, that gesture, the words, his eyes. I assumed he was someone from the opera house, but this? Life, death, own personal hell? They were all about himself. I've hurt him, caused him great pain. What have I done? Should I apologize? No, what am I thinking? Eric was never sorry for kidnapping me and bringing me here. So why should I worry and apologize? I assume he had a hellish life because of that face. But it doesn't justify what he has done to others. Now, what should I do? Should I see if he's in his room? But what if I call his name and it infuriates him even more? Alright, I'll just take a peek. No one's here. This may be my only chance. I need to move quickly. I search and search, but I can't find my way out. What should I do? Eric? Keep your voice down. A woman's voice? There's someone else here as well? I think the voice is coming from there. Christine, is it? Who are you? How do you know my name? Are you... Calm down. I heard your name when he screamed out bloody murder. I am not an accomplice of that lunatic. There isn't time, so get back inside or return from which you came before he gets back. Can I trust her? But given that she calls Eric a lunatic, what is going on? I need to find out whatever there is. There are so many hidden doors and rooms in this place. And there's a room here too? Eric doesn't seem to be here. This entire room is old, so desolate. Is that the person who called for me? Hello? Is it you who called for me? Yes, it is. My voice is very coarse. Please understand. I can't even remember the last time I spoke to another human being. You are very young, more or less 20 years old. Last time spoke to another... How do you even know without looking at me? My ears are very sensitive. I can guess a person's age just by hearing their voice. Are you also locked in here? 10 years. It's been 10 years since I trapped in this small, awful room. I may be wrong. At some point, I lost track of time. A day, a week, a year, clueless. As nothing changes in this place. To lock someone up for 10 years in such a place? What life did he have to make him want to commit such a devilish act? I guess this is the room which Eric said his mother's furniture's in. I assumed this was the way out. Never speak of that hateful name before me again. I'm sorry. I shouldn't get upset at you. I did introduce myself. My name is Melik. My name you already know. Did you hear the noise all the way from here? It was loud. So, Christine, how did you get involved with that monster? He tricked me. I was fooled to believe his beautiful voice and his elaborate lies. Then I was kidnapped and trapped down here. He promised to let me go after 5 days, but then I tore off his mask. Mask? He always wears a white mask, so I wrongly assumed he was a member of the opera house. This area is underground, below the Paris Opera House. I tore off his mask to identify him, then instead I saw the face of a corpse. Face of a corpse? Corpse is the only word that can describe what I saw. Then he grabbed my hand and forced me to feel his face. What an evil fiend. Now I understand why you only hired blind servants. He loved ever so to boast about himself, yet never spoke of his face. Why he thought a blind person such as myself would love him. What? Thanks to you, I now know. Please, take a seat. It's going to be a long story. I hail from Turkish Empire, and I come a long way, haven't I? When I was your age, I had a happy life with nothing to be afraid of. One day, the palace was planning to hire a blind chambermaid, so I applied for the position. My family supported me and provided me with high-level education, but I wished to become independent. I became a chambermaid for a foreigner refugee from Persia. What foreigner? Yes, it was him. He was kind, and there was nothing odd about him, except all his servants were blind. But soon, I came to despise his very soul. Has he done something cruel? No, he was still a kind, gentle person. But he was a foreigner in need of an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur? Yeah, that word. And I was appointed as one, as I spoke many languages. As I delivered his words, I found out what he was. He was a technician made for new weapons for torture instruments. He was quite dexterous. He even made elaborate automatic dolls that close resembled animals and humans and animals and presented them to the Sultan. But what he did best and do most of was hurting people. I had to listen to the results of his experiments with his instruments, interpret the words about how to improve them. But he learned our language very quickly, and soon interpretation was not required. Your country accepted someone like that as a guest? I should have never got involved with him in the first place. However, I served as a chambermaid and lived that way. Until one day he asked to take my hand in marriage. He asked to marry you? We seldom had any personal conversations. My kindness toward him was only as an employee. But he thought my kindness came from a different source. I refused his courtship and left without saying a word. That night I had a bad feeling, so returned to my room and packed up my belongings. Then I fell into a deep sleep and once I awoke, I was no longer in my room. How could he do such? He broke my cane in half and yelled, "You dare to refuse my love, hence you shall suffer fate worse than death. You shall remain felter by my side in all eternity until you love me." How could he? I tried to escape more times than I can count, but was captured every time. I attempted to escape every chance I had, but I was slowly giving up on life. And my only option was to rot in this chamber forever. Thank you, Christine. If I hadn't met you, Did he demand you love him? Yes, for quite some time now, and ever since I tore off his mask. But what I truly fear is not the face beneath the mask. His wild voice, his mad laughter, his flashing eyes. Just, I fear him as he is. I'm so afraid. Christine, as you already know, you must stay strong. That man. I hear water. Christine, you must return at once. What water? It's the sound of the man coming back. You can't hear it, but you must return at once. Okay, I'll go. Malik, I will come back for you.